click into the web tool, we will see a few options, but let's start with scenarios. Scenarios are essentially your playbook, all the different plays against the different coverages that you will see your plays be run against this season. So each scenario is a play versus a coverage. Let's show you how to add a scenario from scratch. As I open it up, you see it has no detail whatsoever. And so we need to build out the defense, making sure we use the proper labels, as this will come into play later. I will start in cover 2. Please note the D linemen, while they can be moved in the game, it's not necessary as we don't have action for them yet in the game. Line splits, again, are not necessary as we won't have much O-line, D-line play in this initial version. Let's just make sure we label these proper. And as you can see, as I can change the label to whatever I want, just making sure that each position is selected properly. Now that I have all of my players set up on offense and defense, I can now start drawing the path that these defenders will take. Let's start with defense and this cornerback. First, I click on the player that I want to draw their path for, click on draw path, and simply draw the path that I want. This is a cover 2 drop, he'll sink, and then come back to 5. This is a cover 2 drop, so he'll sink, and then come back to 5. As I click draw path, I finish, click stop path, so it doesn't do it anymore. I do want to show you, I can click on all paths to show this constantly, which I do like to draw that way so I know which one I've done. Make sure we click stop path. Please note the defensive players are programmed to always be facing the quarterback until the ball passes them on the field, at which point they will turn and run after the ball. Okay, now that I have my cover 2 defense drawn up, I can go ahead and draw the play that I want to run against this cover 3 defense. And I will choose from my favorite plays, Y corner. Please note, for each of the receivers, you will control the scoring. Correct gets them the most points. Okay gets them average points, and incorrect makes the ball fall incomplete. So I know that in Y corner against cover 2, my Y is the correct choice and will get the correct points if selected. Please note, if you misdraw, you can reset the path and then begin again. I know that this is the second read, and in this defense, the pocket should be here. So that is an okay throw. On the backside of our quick game is a quick slant, which is incorrect because of all this noise. I'm going to leave it as incorrect. Then the X is running a shim slant, which is also incorrect against this defense. So now we have all the receivers selected with the correct scoring. Wonderful. Now let's move on to our controls. You can select this arrow to expand it and see audio visual instructions. This is where you will upload your videos. Please note it's 100 megabyte max, plenty of space for a 10-second video that you will use for the game time video game, as well as the OTA's quick training module. As you select it, the video will upload, and then you can rewatch. Corner, we're going to look backside since it's quick game for any gifts. Otherwise, we're going to run our progression, corner, snag, shoot, looking at this cornerback to see if our first read is open by alignment. You could delete the video and upload a new one, or leave it as it is, and now the video will appear in the game. Next, we'll talk about speed. You do not need to adjust these. There's very few use cases where you will adjust these. Quick screens are one and maybe the only use case, but these will all be programmed in. You don't need to worry about that. Please contact us if you want to learn more. So after you've drawn the concepts, simply come in the offensive name place, put the formation. Our formation is open. Our play is called Y corner or 8. And then against the defense, you can either write the full defense, 4-3 cover 2, or simply the coverage. Please note the offensive name will appear on the mobile app during the gameplay. The player knows exactly which play they're running. They will not see the defense, as the entire point of the game is for them to start to recognize defenses and understand these things without prompting. With that, we will move on to this section, situations. It's where the magic happens. As you click in, start to think about where would on the field and in what situation would Y corner against cover 2 come up? Is it coming out 0 to 20 yard line? Is it the middle of the field from the 20 to the 20? Where are these red zone plays? And you can see we've split red zone into 4 quadrants. And then within the areas of the field, what situations might this appear? And as you fill these out, rest assured that as your players play our video game, the scenarios that you select will appear in the right place at the right time. So your players will get used to which plays are being called in what part of the field and in what scenarios. This automates the entire process, so no one has to call plays for them. It just serves up your plays on the right place in the field at the right time. The last thing we'll review are these pre-snap questions. We want to definitely set the coverage so they get proper scoring. First read is open by alignment. This just lets the game know, again, for scoring, whether that is true or false. On is true, off is false. In this situation, Y corner is open by alignment because we are throwing into this deep third, and there is this hole that we teach our quarterbacks to throw into. So in this scenario, where you say, yes, my first read is open by alignment. You may not use that pre-snap variable, but that is what it's for. And as you've created this, you can see now I have this new concept all ready to go. You can click back in and make adjustments as much as you want. Reset the path, draw it again, save it again. You can, if this is a play you want to get used to or make simple adjustments to, you can simply click this clone button, go in here. Now we can change it to cover 4 pretty quickly. Make the adjustments. And voila, we have 2 concepts that quickly. Cover 4 and cover 2. How to delete a scenario. While I will ask you to think twice about this, if you do end up needing to delete a scenario, that's no problem. If you do simply have too many of the same scenario, you can simply click the red X and the scenario is gone. Do think twice, as once you do that, the scenario is completely deleted and you may have to redraw the entire thing from scratch. To create a scenario and not put it in the game, all you have to do is simply select no situation, and you can see this red mark here. Now, if I save it, this scenario will not show up in the video game because it doesn't know when to go into the game.
Next one.